thought what I'd do is start with showing you guys what we came up with and how it works, and then I'll get into what the benefits are, how we, with the obstacles we came into, and how we managed to overcome those obstacles. So I'll just bring up a little video. I thought this would be the best way to show you all how this will work, how our stuff works. So here we go.
See how a simple innovation reduces materials and labor to lower the cost of constructing a home while making all the switches smart. Shown here is a home under construction ready for the electrical rough-in. To rough in the electrical system, electrical boxes are nailed to the studs where space is available. Wire is installed to each box to provide power for plugs, lights, ceiling fans, and other electrical devices. To install switches, wire is installed between each switch box and the electrical device it will operate. Levven separated the switch into its two operating components, the rocker portion that people use every day and the power control relay that switches the power. This simple innovation eliminates the switch boxes, wire, and tasks for 6 trades and builder personnel to construct homes more affordably. Levven power controllers are installed at the trim or final stage of construction. They install inside the electrical box, connecting the power wires with the wires from the light, plug, or electrical device. Unlike switches of the past, Levven switches are free to be located wherever people need them. Levven switches mount directly on the surface after the walls are painted. Screwless trim plates snap onto the switch without tools, giving a compact, elegant designer's touch. Using the same wireless method that automotive key fobs use to lock and unlock car doors every day, switches send on, off, and dim commands wirelessly to power controllers. Levven portable switches put controls at your fingertips in places like bedside tables, shop benches, or the visor of a car. Levven switches can operate power controllers from a distance of 250 feet. Switches and power controllers can operate together in any combination, giving limitless switching flexibility. Up to 10 switches can operate a power controller, and any combination or quantity of power controllers can be operated by a switch. Levven switches and power controllers are installed ready for mobile device access and personalization. Levven Q and the Levven app connect mobile devices to operate and configure switches and power controllers throughout the home without programming. People get the freedom to operate their home from anywhere in the world and can include voice control with Amazon Alexa or Google Home. It's only when all the controls throughout the home are smart can people maximize the energy savings, safety, security, and convenience results they want. Levven controls, making homes more affordable to purchase and operate.
So how does this impact the sustainability of the building? First of all, here's an example of the average home takes about 34 switches. If a builder, if 1,000 homes alone were done with our technology, we would save 129 miles of wire per year, 68,000 electrical boxes, 272,000 switches, and 204,000 wire nuts for every 1,000 homes that move towards this. And then there's now that you have the entire infrastructure, electrical infrastructure controlled by the home, we can do all kinds of interesting things, like you have remote mobile app development that allows you to connect to the home and maybe turn off lights and things that are happening or that are left on. Set automatic timers for your all your outdoor lighting based on sunrise and sunset. Set automatic countdown timers for things like bathrooms and closets so that they don't stay on if someone accidentally forgets to turn the light off. And then actually program time of day timers if you want things to come on. All of that is actually bedded right into the Levven technology. So the devices just come with that. And that can bring annual savings. In this example alone, this customer would see almost a $200 savings annually in their electrical bill, based on assumptions that I've done here. And that's actually right on our website. You'd be able to go and change the kilowatt hour cost per kilowatt hours, the number of watts and savings. So does it work? You know, we've been doing this since 2015. In 2017, we started working with a builder called LGI Homes in the US. They're ranked number 11. In 2018, they were ranked number 11 for the largest builders in the United States, building about 6,000 homes. Last year, they built almost 7,000 homes. And they've been using us in one area in Arizona for all their homes in all their subdivisions. And what our field results proved were that they were able to reduce build cycle days by at least 1 day. The financial cost to carry the home was also reduced. They built and delivered more homes with the existing trade capacity by freeing up 11 hours of skilled labor per home. And the electrical trade improved rough-in times by 20 to 25%. Less time to manage site coordination, reschedule rework, and administrate trade back charges. And their profit per home actually increased. And finally, one of their other big costs that builders are thinking about all the time, their customer acquisition costs was reduced because now they had this smart home feature that they could just include with every single home. And if anyone wants a copy of that study, I can provide it to Pam and she can send it out to everybody. So what were the barriers? Well, we had two really large barriers. One was code. Both in Canada and the United States, the code was not designed for wire-free switches. And so we thought originally that, you know, you're taking wire out of the walls, it'd be safer. Well, it turns out we've been battling code for since 2015. And Alberta was the first to move on issuing a stand data to allow wire-free wall-mounted controls as into the definition of a wired switch. And in the US, the National Electrical Code has changed in 2020 to accept this as well through our lobbying. And in 2021, the Canadian Electrical Code will actually remove Section 504-30 from the Canadian Electrical Code because it's already in the building code, and we've been able to get acceptance in the building code. So this was a long process for us to get through. And still, even though code gets adopted, we still have to educate in virtually every single region that we go to. So the other big barrier is this. And what this is you'll notice here are the top 5 trending objectives of the home builders we've been working with in the last 2 years. They want to increase the profit per home, reduce customer acquisition expense, reduce build cycle times, reduce the cost to carry the home, and increase homes built annually. Notice that you don't see sustainability or green there anywhere. And the reality is the biggest obstacle for smart or sustainable technology adoption in construction is products and building materials that violate these 5 objectives simply will not gain adoption. So we went looking for the money. Here is an example, the cost to provide the electrical controls in homes today, excluding materials and trade rework costs. This is data that we have gained from working with a number of builders across North America. So it's trending averages. On average, it's taking about 9 hours to install the average number of switches in a home, which is approximately 34 switches. Now we talk about we don't include rework charges or rework time from the trades, but there is rework management from the builder. And the builders are saying to us that takes them approximately 2 hours per home to manage booking other trades, to get them in coordination. And it saves almost a full day of scheduling time. They're spending an extra day of scheduling because of that. On average, this cost per home is $797, or a cost per switch based on 34 switches of $23. So eliminating the task to install switches reduces the scheduled days and increases labor capacity to build more homes. The $18 that we see here of competitive labor profit is shared equally between the builders and Levven. And the builder, this reduces the builder's current cost. So what they're paying right now, which is $23, it's actually reduced by $8.90. I could, for those who are interested, I could take you through the long process of walking through how these numbers all come about. But suffice it to say, at the end of the day, the builder cares about this $8.90 because it's the money that they're saving every time they put in our wireless switch. And if we take a look over here, the technology value, that's what it costs, what they're willing to pay, $0 to put smart switches into their homes today. So for us to get over this barrier with builders, we literally had to prove to them that they could save money and gain the benefits of smart technology throughout the entire home. Without that, adoption would not have happened. So I thought I'd take a minute and just talk a little bit about the road ahead for technology and smart homes. It really starts with access. So what we've done here is we've created a really great method by lowering the cost to pay for load level electrical control and mobile device, voice, and BMS connectivity with Levven controls. Once we're through that, we're now looking at how can we reframe how people are engaged with intuitive experiences that set new expectations, open up new data channels, and reorganize power infrastructure. So if you think for a moment, builders and owners can now use the savings that they've to invest in new energy saving devices in the home, such as vacancy occupancy sensors, large power controllers for larger loads in the building, and control all the loads in the building. They could even add temperature sensing devices in every device. For example, Levven switches. Every single Levven switch today has a temperature sensor. Now, today, that temperature sensor is not incredibly accurate, but when we aggregate that data over all the switches in the homes, we can actually get a pretty good measurement of what that temperature is. Later, as technology improves, we could actually include more accurate sensors in every single switch. Think about that for a moment. That makes the opportunity for you to have temperature control in every single part of the home as opposed to one or two locations like we have today, which would make it much easier and more cost effective to look at zone heating systems or using electrical heat through heat pumps in room by room, which would be more energy efficient as well. We could include current sensing devices at every panel now, and now that you have the ability to manage loads automatically based on load demand, now you give the customers optional use suggestions and modes to reduce power consumption even further. Further on from that, you could use machine learning to update programming automatically based on observed user behavior. consider that it is affordable enough, you could digitally control the entire electrical system in the house and buildings. And that's what's really important about this. If we can put control, power control, into the entire infrastructure, you've now basically digitized that whole power control system. And with that comes even further opportunities later down the road, which is ability to expand and forge strategic partnerships. So for example, with whole subdivisions moving to digital power control, there's an opportunity to work with aging utility infrastructure to help them manage load demand through opt-in programs that would give access to load shed demand in exchange for consumer savings. We could also partner with builders to manage power and building envelope during the construction phase to increase worker safety and reduce rework at time of construction. So those are just, from our perspective, some of the big opportunities that become available if we can get access. And that's really where it all started for Levven. So in summary, smart controls that conserve materials and energy for the lifetime of the structure is what we're focused on here at Levven. I'm looking forward to the other presentation and answering questions from all of you. Thank you.